with the one on the right.
All right. I, too, don't normally like public speaking, although I've found that the closer you get to your authentic truth, the easier it is to speak in public. It's when you're BSing people that the nervous energy comes up. My name is Kass Rose. I am a successful business owner and an entrepreneur. I built a company from the ground up with zero mentorship, zero advisors. And had to kind of pay for what I could afford in the beginning. As you start to earn more revenue, you can get better talent to back you up. I noticed that there was a problem in the marketplace with my first business, so I decided that I was going to start a tech company. I started Rent My Way with the hopes of changing property management and the rental industry. If any of you are in the rental market, you may know that it's kind of a scattered process trying to get approved and get into a property. You never know who you're dealing with on the other end. I've been in sales for over 25 years, and so during all of this, while building two companies, I also wrote a book called Care Your Way to Clarity. And I'm going to take you through my 4-step care methodology so that you have a basis of what I've learned over 25 years working with humanity. So CARE is an acronym, and it stands for Curiosity, Accountability, Relatability, and Execution. And I find that when working with people, your curiosity should always be piqued. You should be asking as many questions as possible. And when I talk about humanity, I'm talking about vendors, new hires, lenders, mentors, advisors, networking events, like the list goes on and on and on as far as professional services, hiring an attorney, all that stuff. You have to ask a lot of questions. And when we're in curiosity, I highly recommend that you keep it very innocent. And that you don't pass judgment. Get the other person talking. When you get curious, they will tell you, hopefully, the truth, and then you can get accountable. Is this somebody I really want to work with? Is the stuff that they're telling me the truth? How do I know? Energetically, do I feel weird when I'm around them? A lot of us aren't listening to that gut intuition because we haven't been taught that yet, right? So think about higher consciousness energy. It does matter. So once you find somebody, we are looking for balance. Lady Justice shows us that accountability is all about balance. It's a two-way street. So especially women in business and women in technology, you got this overpower-underpower problem going on where I have to listen and look up to a man while they're talking down to me. That's not accountability. You got to figure out how to even the playing ground or get out, because it doesn't get better. Relatability, once you understand, you got curious with these people, you got accountable with them, now you need to know, am I able to relate my needs to them in a way that's effective so that we can get done what we need to get done together? And if the way I speak to you turns you off, or you roll your eyes and you don't really like the vibe I'm throwing, well, then we probably have another sign that we're not going to be able to work together. So look at the way that you approach and your vulnerability and share with others, and hopefully you can relate. If you can't, get ready to... This is a vibrational scale. I'm going to skip through it if anyone's curious. It's in my book, but I came up with a methodology where you could read those vibrations. Oh, man, this is not good. Okay, execute. Once you get curious, accountable, relatable, you need to decide, am I going to work with these people? Are these people going to be on my team? Are they going to have my back? If somebody treats you poorly, you might make excuses. Well, Tom was having a bad day. I heard things are rough. Well, no, Tom probably shouldn't have talked to you that way if you got accountable, right? So are you going to stay in storytelling and create excuses for other people's behavior, or are you going to really dig in and make sure that you're protected? Because at the end of the day, this is about you. Exit strategy is another way that you can execute. We know about this in business. I call it the pause, ponder, pivot. How did I just feel? What do I want out of this? And can I pivot in another direction so that I can get better results? So think about the pause, ponder, pivot. And finally, when you go to execute, there's the cutaway. These are the people that will never relate with you. They're never going to have your back. You're always making excuses for their behavior. I'm a skydiver, and I learned about the cutaway because when you jump out of an airplane, your parachute opens up, and you hope that it's square, stable, and steerable. And if you look up and it's not square, steerable, and stable, you have to cut that shit away. Sorry. So, and your reserve comes out, right? And hopefully you can land. So the CARE methodology was my way of figuring out who I can and cannot work with. You are the sum of all the 5 people you surround yourself with. I thought that was BS when social media came out. I was like, no way, I can have hundreds of friends. I'm here to tell you that you are the sum of the 5 people that you're with. Am I done? Okay. And I had 9 rules I never got to. So if you have questions, we can do questions, or I could run through my rules real quick. What do you think? Rules, okay. Rule number 1, 25 years in business. I just wanted to tell you guys, my technology company has dissolved since the time I agreed to do this presentation because I outsourced to bad developers. Number 2, my other startup or my other company was in the process of getting sold, and my best friend embezzled all my money. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Here's my rules. Number 1, most people are in it for themselves. They can tell you everything you want to hear. They are there for a paycheck. And very rarely will people have your back when the money goes away. So just remember, most people are in it for themselves. Number 2, know your worth. Know it to your core. Get authentic. Don't let people devalue you. Know your worth so that when they do take advantage of you, it doesn't rock your world. Number 3, verify everything. Just because somebody says everything's okay doesn't mean that it's okay. We are the leaders. We are the business owners. We have to verify everything. Pay by performance. Stop paying people a ton of money hoping they get the job done. Create milestones, especially for technology developers. If you hit this milestone, I'll pay you X. Okay? I wish I would have done that instead of $8,000 a year or $8,000 a month for a year, and I got crap back. Put yourself first. This is all about you. Nobody has your back more than you will, so put yourself first. I'm almost done. Don't buy into labels. I labeled the person who embezzled from me my best friend. He's my best friend. He's got my back. We are now finding out he stole from me since day 1. This has been happening for 6.5 years. He was never my best friend. He never had my back. I had to learn the hard way. Don't buy the labels that you put on somebody. Keep all your private or your data locked down. So if you do get rid of somebody, could you switch out every platform in under 20 minutes and knock them off? Make sure that you know all your data can get switched out. 2 more, don't try to convince people of your worth. I went to networking events like this all the time, and I said, hi, I'm so-and-so, and do you see me, and do you believe in me, and let me tell you what I'm doing. These people were never going to buy into me. You gotta find the believers. There are believers out there. They're harder to find, but don't try to convince anyone. If you're convincing them, it ain't the right person. Number 9 is outsource, outsource, outsource. I couldn't build a team, even though I wanted to build a team so bad, and I went to all these events, and I reached out to my community, and I tried to find it, but I couldn't, so I outsourced it. And I'm not ashamed that I outsourced it, and I'm not ashamed that I invested in the wrong people, because at the end of the day, I get to go to sleep at night knowing that I tried. I don't think I would be happy knowing that I didn't try. And so it's okay to outsource. Put those milestones, use a CARE methodology, but don't be afraid to outsource your dreams in the hopes that it works out.